you are not just a simple small body in this universe. In fact, you are the gigantic universe in this body. You might have heard somewhere that, you are just a small human being living in one society within one city and a place called Earth. Earth is so small compared to all the planets and the solar system. And then out of solar system, there are neighboring stars, and then interstellar. Then there are the galaxies and black holes and whatnot. In compared to all these things, where we stand, they say it very small. But what I'm trying to talk today is that you are the gigantic universe in this body. To explain you this point, that what you are, what do I mean by that you are a universe within yourself, and how you can carve your life, let's talk about most important thing at this moment is called depression. Would you believe that 5% of world's population is living under depression? Around 325 million people are under some kind of mental disorders. I see many successful people here in the audience, right? And 1 out of 4 is suffering from depression. Can you think of any of your 3 good friends? You thought about them? Are they okay? You think so your 3 friends are okay? Then you are the 4th. You are the one probably suffering from the depression or the mental disorder. What I'm trying to explain point here is that the mental conditions are so worst that 800,000 people are doing suicide every year across the globe. In my society, which is beautiful society where I live in Mumbai, we play volleyball and we play lots of activities and games and all. One day, watchman calls me and says, sir, last night, a doctor jumped from the 14th floor and gave his life. A doctor. So I'm not talking about a student or worker class person or person who's suffering with economic condition, a doctor. Is that the reason why our parents are giving education to us? Is that the reason why our scientists, our yogis, our expert ancestors gave us the life and the knowledge and enriched us so that we live a stressful life? Absolutely not. But we are living a troubleful life, whether it's relationship you call it, whether you call it financial problems. There are so many words here which are going to describe what kind of mental disease or problem you could have, which you might not know, which you might not have any idea. Given with these all mental conditions, the world seems little dark, but I'm going to throw some points that if we just live our life, just carve our life, we can live a successful, very happy and meaningful life. Because I have traveled to 65 countries and I have traveled to the tribal areas, I have stayed with these African tribes, and I have traveled to the most sophisticated, most advanced country in the world. And I learned one thing from all those, that no matter what job you do, no matter what activity you do, if you are not living the life which is your life, you will end up going in problems and difficulties. And this is what I'm going to explain to you. In general, the world is becoming better. We have better resources, the education is better, the more people are becoming millionaire. In general, you see we have food, we have good quality water. In general, looks like everything is growing. But is this our growth? Everything around us which is growing, is this our growth? Let me explain you one simple story. When my son, Naman, he turned 8 years, I thought I will buy a plant for him. So that, when I watch my son growing, which I love it, my 2 kids, I love them and I love watching them growing, I thought that my son will also love this plant growing. I went to a nursery center and I said that give me a big plant, but give me a small pot. I don't have much space, let it grow. And then my son says, Dad, buy a big pot. And I said, no, I just need a big plant, but not necessarily big pot. And my son says, if the roots cannot grow, how plant will grow? And I was speechless for a few minutes. And I thought, it's so true that if roots cannot grow, how plant will grow? until the day I was thinking that my growth is not inside, is externally. If I buy the car, if I buy a house, if I buy something new, it's my growth, right? The more money I have, more accumulation I do, it is my growth. But is that my growth? It's not. Is the accumulation which I'm making is not my growth. My growth can only happen organically when I am able to transform. If you look at this beautiful picture, what nature suggests us, everything is grown inside out. But our growth, we think that our growth is with the external thing, which is so untrue, because no matter how many things I'm accumulating from the external perspective, I'm still not growing. I'm still suffering from those mental disorders. I'm still struggling to find my life. So how do we come out of it? This picture I took in Bali, wood carving. You must have seen at many places when you go for the stone sculpture or wood carving, every artist you ask them, they say you, the beauty is inside. I'm just removing the unwanted part. Most of the time you must have heard this term also. But question is, why do we have to carve the beauty? Why beauty is not there as it is? The point here is that what you accumulate, even what the knowledge you're accumulating, the experience, the points, the money, everything which you're accumulating at this moment is not going to be useful as it is. You need to carve it out. Because 8.7 million species are there. 8.7 million species, but they all live in harmony with the nature. But human being is the only species which believe in collecting things, accumulating things. They believe in the growth is only if I could accumulate something. Rest all other 8.7 million species, they believe in living in the harmony with the nature. Isn't it? Today, if you see that, we know everything about the universe. As I mentioned to you, from interstellars to galaxy and all, and we are going far and far, but there is a universe inside me. We have very limited knowledge about it. We have very limited study about it. If you look at the world, there is enough light and electricity to light up the world, but there is not enough time you have to lighten up yourself. Many people still are under negativity, and to come out of that negativity, all you need is just to spend time with yourself. What is religion, politics today doing, patriotism and country are doing? All of them are trying to dominate and trying to prove a point that they are bigger than others. And in that portion, we are trying to dominate other, whether it is a country or religion or any other point of view, we see that everyone is trying to dominate, but we are not spending enough time to deal with our negativity. We need to do something. And how to do this thinking? That I have come up with 7 simple points, and I'm coming up with my book called Carve Your Life, and in that I'm putting these suggestions. So I'm just coming up with 7 simple suggestions that how can you live happy, successful and meaningful life. Again, I will say the 3 words which I said: happy, successful and a meaningful life, with just simple 7 suggestions. Point number 1, know yourself. You are more than just DNA, cells, muscles, body. You are the source of everything. You have the power inside you to seek the knowledge. What our ancestor did, what our yogi did, they sat down, closed their eyes, meditated, and the knowledge came to them. In many ways, a little bit of information is good enough. Observation is one of the most important things. If you just observe tree, if you observe a small ant, and if you observe without any attachment, you will learn great deal of things. And sometimes just few words are good enough for you, as like for Mahatma Gandhi, like ahimsa and truth. These were the just 2 words to live his entire life. We can live wonderful life with just simple philosophy. Second point, you are beautiful. Believe in it. You might have flaws, you might have difficulties, but you are beautiful. You are ultimately beautiful, and you should have a self-respect for you. If you do not have a self-respect for yourself, then other people will not have a respect for you. This is the one of the most important condition for other people, the way they treat, because you set standards for yourself that how others should treat you. You are ultimate beauty and believe in your beauty, and you have to work around it. This is something new which you might have heard, is called energy drainer. You start your day in the morning and you finish in the evening. You do lots of work, you juggle around, you lots of try and finish things, but at the end, at the evening, when you finish your day, you feel that, oh, nothing I achieved today. Why this happened? Because either some person, some process, something is draining your energy. You are not aware about it. Maybe you are playing, maybe you are watching video, maybe you are doing something which is just draining energy. And let me explain you this point called, we are living in push notification world. Look at the previous generation, our ancestors and yogi. They went to search the information. Now almost every information is pushed to us. How much time you really spend to search anything now? You check your WhatsApp, you check your Facebook, you check whatever comes. Everything comes, and every other second you see the message coming to you, email coming to you, information coming to you. Whatever the entire world want to say to you, you are listening that, reading that, watching that. But how many times you actually go and seek the information, which our previous generation, our yogi did it, because in that seeking they had a sense of accomplishment, sense of happiness when they were doing this thing. It's not happening right now, and that's why we do not have a sense of accomplishment. We don't have a sense of knowledge and happiness when we are getting some information. Every advertisement, they are trying to sell some emotions to you. You know, be beautiful, have a big house, have a colorful house, have a big car, have a comfortable car. These are the emotional triggers, and you are the part of their strategy, and they are emotionally arousing you to take action, and we are doing that. Everything is just emotionally played with us. So now is the time that you take a self-control. Today when you go back at home, do not look at the information which comes to you. Go and search the information which you actually require. Stop those notifications. Some of them are good, but not all. Do not spend that amount of information just coming to you, which is pushing to you, but go and search for the information which is going to help your life, which is going to help you become a better person. The self-confidence is one of the most important requisite to do anything. Nothing significant could ever be achieved without believing in yourself that you are capable to do it. And if you do not have a belief that you can do it, there are very simple strategies you can do to deal with it. Just prepare, act on it, and raise your bar. These simple strategies are so beautiful strategies to do something amazing for you. Another point is what we just heard and recently happened in Punjab, and I just recently wrote an article also. The time is kind of over now to follow other people. You know, you saw that those babas and gurus playing with your emotions sometime. It's a time to start self-mentoring. I'm not saying that you should stop learning from someone else. You still need a vision, guidance, and support, but take that as a nurture, as a nourishment. When you read a book next time, don't read the book to remember it. Just take the nourishment from it. If I ask you, what did you eat 10 days back? Would you remember it? What did you eat 25 days back? Would you remember it? No, would not remember it. But that food was not wasted, right? It did nourish your body. It nurtured your body, right? Similarly, if you are listening to this speech or other speaker, or if you are reading a book, take the nourishment from it. Do not follow as it is, because your personality, your needs, your life is different than my life. I might be able to suggest you a few points. Don't take it as it is. Let it run in your thought process and try to run and see what best you can do from it. And self-mentoring is a way forward right now. Then harmonious well-being, that we need to start thinking comprehensively from various perspectives, not only from one perspective, and from all the perspective, and a harmonious life is way forward. And this is the last point of my presentation, that even if you be a successful, and even if you are able to learn new things, if you don't do this thing, then your life is not going to become meaningful, which is contribute. We are here to contribute, not necessarily to just enjoy our own fruits. And to explain you this, I have a very small story which I love so much, and I always share this story. So this boy was on the shores, on the beach walking, and he saw thousands of starfish coming out of the water. And there were thousands of starfish. So this boy was picking one and throwing back and doing one by one. A person walked from there and said that, "Boy, what you're doing? These are thousands of starfish. You will not be able to throw all back in the water. You're wasting your time. You will not be able to make a difference." That boy gently picked one more starfish, threw back in water and said, "It made difference to this one." Similarly, do not think that are you going to make the contribution to the millions of people or billions of people? If you are able to contribute to someone, please do so. Without contribution, only in accumulation, we are not going to build the world in which we want to live. You want to live in the world which is so selfish, so difficult, and right now the recent research says the kind of world we are living is more about rebel, that we are trying to oppose everything, we are trying to fight for everything, and we have to stop that and start contributing. So I suppose only by just these 7 points, know yourself, believe that you are beautiful, have a self-discipline, have a self-confidence, and harmonious well-being, and last, contribute, you can live an amazing life. With that, I thank you very much.